Good morning, everyone. And our first September edition of Bar Talk. Angela, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, thank you.
Good. And understand that we're having Julia join us too.
I saw her come on. There she is.
Okay, excellent.
Okay. Hi.
And hi, Julia. We'll introduce you soon.
Thank you.
You got it. So just a few things that we wanted to bring to your attention. It's been almost 2 weeks since we last met. We had Bar Talk last on August 31st, if I remember correctly. I just wanted to ask everyone, and I'm sure you're already sensing this, to be sensitive to the tensions that others are having related to elections drawing close, schools starting, and colleges starting across the United States. One of the things that's interesting that some of you may know or may not know is I've just found out this weekend from a resident of York in the York School District that the York school system hasn't even started school yet. It's due to start, I understand, on Friday. So I understand there are also some other school districts that were delayed. I think Auburn or something was starting late. So keep that in mind that tensions are high for parents, for students, for active participants in getting the word out. So with that being said, I wanted to just let you know with some of the updates that pertain to us are related to courts. So PMO SJC 7 was updated. And I think the primary takeaway for this since the last update, and I ran into this myself, I had an in-person hearing in the Rockland District Court on the 10th of September. And that was a hearing done, decided at the discretion of the judge that we were going to have the hearing because it wasn't one of the accepted hearings from remote proceedings. And one of the things that's different in this new PMO order that affected us was that are the idea of hybrid hearings. And if you aren't sure what those are, they're kind of addressed on page 3 of PMO SJC 7. It's subpart B of part 3 of the order. And what it is essentially asking for a witness to be, let's say, appear by video versus everyone else to be in some other format. And the courts are making that as much of a no-no and as much of something that you don't do as possible. So I actually think that's one of the big takeaways from PMO SJC 7. I encourage you to review it on your own if you're doing hearings, and know that just like the last one that was issued, remote hearings are the norm unless your matter is an accepted matter. On September 3rd, there was a newly revised PMO SJC 3. And the big takeaway from that is that it appears that they're trying to get us away effective on September 8th from petitioning the court, filing motions, anything like that via email. And remember earlier, they allowed certain cases to be filed via email, to be asked for special consideration, etc. And what I think is most helpful with this PMO revision is that it actually spells out, and I don't remember seeing anything like this before, which is, who knows, I might have missed it before, I don't know. But it actually spells out the way in which you present your proposed orders to the judge or to the court. And it talks about what should be in the email. It talks about the fact that your proposed order should be in a editable form, and And it talks about who you should be copying on the email. So it's actually a pretty helpful part for those of you that submit proposed orders via email. Oh, and one of the other big takeaways is it says it wants them submitted by 3 p.m. the day before they are due. So they aren't expecting any late night submittals. Also, what's noted on the slide is there's a place to go for high profile cases. Angela put this great piece together here where it, I know some of it was cut and pasted from the court's website, but it has a connection right there for you to listen in on the oral argument that's going to occur on September 15th related to the case Jones v. Secretary of State. All right, with that, we do have a special guest today. That's Julia Sheridan. Julia, some of you may have known her from the Cumberland County District Attorney's Office, but she was selected to be bar counsel for the Board of Overseers, and her position started on September 1st, if I'm correct, Julia. And we wanted to be able to have you maybe come on board and give us what your thoughts are on the start of your new position and maybe some trends that you might be seeing that we can try to aim for or avoid. Julia, you there?
Yes, I am. I hope that people can hear me. I'm having a little trouble with my computer microphone, so I'm on the phone and people can hear me. I'm getting a thumbs up. Good. Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me today. And I just started, as Thad said, September 1st. And I guess with regard to trends, you know, in my all of 2 weeks, what we have been seeing, and I know that Assistant Bar Counsel Justin Andrus, I believe, sent out a blast about this, but our office had been seeing reports of a sophisticated fraud operation that involved individuals purporting to become clients and sending fake settlement drafts, and the drafts were then dishonored after the lawyer had paid the purported settlement funds to the fake client, leaving the lawyer to repay the IOLTA account. So, you know, please be aware of this, and you can avoid this by ensuring that you wait for deposits to your IOLTA account to clear rather than relying on bank funds, their availability policy to withdraw settlement or fee deposit proceeds. So be alert to that issue. I just also wanted to remind people, obviously, that our website contains information, including the fact that we have an ethics hotline. It's available Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 11 to 3. The number's on the website under Attorney Services, and it's 207-623-1122. And another reminder that attorney and GAL registration deadline, it actually has gone by. It was August 31st. There's an extended deadline through tomorrow, September 15th. So please get on top of that if you haven't been able to do so far. And I know that Angela is going to discuss, I believe, there's a CLE regarding, or it looks like there's an update on the slides here, the cognitive and implicit biases and decision-making for lawyers, CLE, that the Board of Bar Overseers is hosting in conjunction with the Maine State Bar Association. And the guest speaker will be social psychologist and Northwestern law professor, Dr. Destiny Peary. So there are 1.5 hours of credit available for this. The fee is $75, and the details are on our website. So I guess that's my update for today, absent any questions that anybody might have for me.
Julia, I kind of have one. I'm kind of curious. What are the bar counsel's responsibilities?
Bar counsel's responsibilities are to, well, the bar rules set forth, Bar Rule 2, what bar counsel's responsibilities are, and those are to really review complaints that come in that get sent to bar counsel's office from the clerk's office, and to determine whether there is probable cause to go forward with anything under an allegation of a violation of the rules of professional conduct. So we review and investigate complaints, and if warranted, we would then proceed before the Grievance Commission with those.
Okay, and I've seen other types of actions that I think you guys have taken even outside of the Grievance Commission, when you have positions on things like has your office done amicus briefs too?
I believe so, and we also the rules do allow for an alternative sort of contract, that so if something doesn't have to go to the Grievance Commission, but there is perhaps an issue that could be addressed through a contract in which the responding attorney would have some, sort of conditions to fulfill in order to sort of be finished with the contract. So again, that's, if that's appropriate in a situation, maybe somebody is struggling with some, mental health issues or substance abuse issues, and something that could be addressed in that scenario. And we certainly want to encourage people to call MAP and call Bill Nugent if they're feeling that they're having any issues, or that they could use some help on that front.
And Julia, who do you have for attorneys working with you at the Board of Overseers?
We have Assistant Bar Counsel Justin Andrus, who's been here a year, and we have Assistant Bar Counsel Alan Kelly, who has been here for several years. I think something like, a while.
Yeah. Well, thank you. If anyone has any questions for Julia on her new tenure here, feel free to put them in chat so we can have them vetted through Angela.
And sorry, Thad, I want to add one thing. We do have Special Counsel Angela Morris, who handles generally receiverships. And so she is in Bar Counsel's office. The work she does is a little different than the work that Justin and Alan and I will be doing.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Julia, I appreciate you coming on board, and I know that you guys do a lot of important stuff, especially from what I had heard from your predecessor, that there's been a lot of extra work related to receivership type issues where attorneys retire, don't necessarily have an exit plan that's working, at least, and the Bar Counsel or the Board of Overseers needs to step in with that. So we appreciate all the work you do with that.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on board too. You're welcome to stay with us and see the rest of the program if you'd like, in case other questions might come in. But otherwise,
sure.
We thank you. All right, Angela, business side updates. What do we have?
Morning, everyone. As Julia mentioned, the Bar Association and the Board of Overseers are partnering for this. It's actually going to be a series. I was on a call with Aria this morning, and so we're starting it off on September 25th, which is next Friday. Cognitive and implicit biases in decision-making for attorneys. It will be held by Zoom. You need to go, for this particular one, you need to go to the Board of Overseers website to register. If you go to our website, you'll see it on there, and I believe it directs you back to the Board of Overseers site. So as Julia said, it's 90 minutes, so it's 1.5 H&D credits, which is the harassment and discrimination credits, which were put into effect last year, and the cost is $75.
And I just wanted to piggyback on that too. Everyone that's received their bar journal, I think they started being received at the very end of August. There's a good primer for that CLE, which would be the article that we published for Crystal Williams. So, all right, thanks for the interruption, Angela.
Sure. Just a reminder for those of you that I know that the Board of Overseers deadline is tomorrow, but the Bar Association's dues renewal is open, and it opened on September 1st, and it will stay open, obviously, for a couple months, but we ask that you try to get in there and get that taken care of as soon as you can.
Now,
again,
Angela?
I want to remind you that Zoom is going to start requiring passcodes or waiting rooms. So if you use those for your meetings with your clients, that will take effect on September 27th, which is, well, that's a Sunday. So basically the following week. If you don't go in and take care of that, they will do it for you, and you'll think that people can get in and they won't be able to. So you've got to be aware of that. Go into your settings and make sure you take care of that.
Now, Angela, did we, related to membership renewal, did we have a change in membership renewal processes for public sector employees?
Yes, thank you. I don't know why I didn't think about that. So we just implemented a new membership category. So for those attorneys who practice in public service sector, which would include any kind of governmental job, like federal, state, municipal, if you work in the legal services corp area, if you're military, or if you're a professor at an accredited law school, you would qualify, and those are for full-time jobs. You would qualify at a lower rate of $160 for the annual renewal. So if you've already gone in and paid your dues at the higher rate, please give us a call. We'll fix that for you. The other thing is, for anybody who may be on this call who is not a member of the Maine State Bar Association or hasn't been a member for the last 5 years, we have a promotional rate going on through the end of November where you can join this year only for $110. So check those out. Thanks for the reminder of that. Again, we've got some Board of Governors seats that are open coming up, and we would need nomination petitions from you by no later than October 1st. You can see on the slide there what districts have openings. And I guess the last thing I want to say is on September 21st, next Monday, next Bar Talk, we will have Acting Chief Justice Mead joining us.
All right, Angela, thank you very much. And you know, maybe I didn't. I gave him a list of things that I wanted Chief Justice Mead to touch on, but maybe we should add to that too. Anything that he knows about the selection process for the permanent chief. My understanding is the governor's office has been somewhat silent about it so far. If anyone knows anything different, please chime in into chat. I'd appreciate it. So on the personal side, remember, pursuant to our bar journal that we had back in the winter, we had some insight into mindfulness and recognizing what we're thankful for on a regular basis is helpful for us to be mindful and refocused. And given everything that's going on right now, I'm thankful for those that are working to keep everyone safe.
That is, can I ask a question?
Yeah, George.
Well, you brought up the issue of the nominee for the High Court. I've been trying to get information out of Justice Mills' staff with no luck on the appointment of Superior Court Justice. I know that that depends on the legislature, but we in Androscoggin County for over a year now have suffered without a permanent sitting justice. And we've got potpourri. It's terrible. It's not predictable. It's just a horrible system. For whatever reason, we got deserted by the judiciary over a year ago with no explanation. I'd like to know, when are we going to get a permanent sitting justice, Superior Court Justice, in this county? We're way overdue. We're being discriminated against. And if you think I'm upset because I can't get any answers from the governor.
Right.
I voted for him. I'm a fan of hers, but I can't get any answers. And we need a permanent sitting justice in this county. And I hope the Maine Bar Association would pitch in and help us out.
So George, at the risk of getting into a situation that we got into months ago, the key is please just keep it to a question as opposed to a platform. And
That was a question I asked you. The question is, will you
got
look into it?
it. So the question,
With emphasis, with exclamation.
yeah, my understanding,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to share this with you from what I had heard, all right, is that there are 4 district court positions, at least 1 superior court position, and now, at least 1, Supreme Court position related to the chief position. And from what I understand, uh, the judicial branch is anxious to have these positions filled too, and that and you're right, George. The focus does need to be on the governor's office and the legislature. They're the ones that are going to make it happen. My guess is there's a lot of belt tightening going on, and my guess is rather than it being a political issue, I think it's a money issue. So, and they're probably waiting for the legislature to get back in session so that, they get some sort of consensus on how to go forward. And another big question too for the judicial branch, since you brought up, hey, what are we doing about these issues like, not having a permanent sitting judge in Androscoggin County is, from what I understand, ground has still not broken at the super judicial center in York County either. And that's been, quote, I think approved for the last 2 years. So everyone in York County is kind of anxiously awaiting for some sort of permanent change that's going to help them with their system. So I feel for Androscoggin County, feel for York County. There's a couple other counties I think to feel for too. But let's see. I see there is a chat question that came up, and yeah, why are there so many judges in Cumberland County? Well, that's a good question.
Including one of mine.
Yes. So I assume, is Justice Clifford still up there?
He hasn't been doing very much. I don't know whether they took him off the list or what. I haven't seen him for a long time. I don't know whether it's health related or what.
Actually, this is what I did hear, and this is related to Governor Mills. Is my understanding is that about a month or so ago, I'm not sure the exact timing, there was a freeze put on the executive branch. And I'm guessing that freeze transferred also to the judicial branch, where I think that's the reason why we haven't been seeing active retired judges in courts.
I think you're right. I think it was a money issue, and they just took that away from us also.
Yeah. So just so you know, we do reach out periodically to Langhauser up there in the executive branch and the governor's office, and we I'm guessing they're working on important stuff, because it's they do respond to us, but generally we've got to wait a little bit to hear some answers on things. So our next reach out to them will include that request about what we're doing with the judicial branch. So thank you.
I'd be happy to substitute while they're waiting.
Yeah, well, that's not going to help your clients.
That's all right. We'll move it along. We'll move the docket along.
Right. Anyone else? Any questions? Because we're doing great with time. We're about ready to sign off. It is 11:25. I don't see any more chats on there. So thank you for joining in. Please join us next week so we can ask this question point blank, George, if we don't hear anything else.
I try to be here. If you put this on at 6 at night, I can be here.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Thank you very much, Thaddeus. Appreciate it.
Welcome, George. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you, Angela, for putting this on.
Thank you.